G'day kids, thanks for tuning in to another Aussie episode. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that way you won't miss out on any of the new videos we put out, and it would certainly make my day. In the meantime, enjoy this video.
Aussie, 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 oi! Aussie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of mine.
G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie.
G'day kids, Ozzie here. Today we've come along to a place called Menai Music and we're going to get inside and meet with Craig, who's the owner and the principal. He's going to show us all the different instruments and the things that we can learn. So come on, let's get inside and check it out.
How you going, mate?
Good mate, how are
Good.
you?
Welcome to Menai Music.
Mate, thanks for having us.
That's great.
Excited to be here and learn all these different instruments and things you can show us. What can we learn here at Menai Music?
Awesome. Well, as the sign says, at Menai Music we've got vocal tuition, we've got guitar, acoustic and electric guitar. We've got piano and keyboard and synth. We've got bass guitar. We've got drums, songwriting, and this little one over here, ukulele.
The mini guitar.
The mini guitar.
This is going to be fun, kids. Lots to learn, Craig, so let's get into it.
All right, let's go.
Come on.
Straight through here, the hallway, we've got a beautiful old piano, and this piano was built in the early 1900s, between 1900 and 1910, and it was originally a pianola, which basically means that the piano used to play itself on a reel, and it was donated.
Magic. What about if I hold that
Yeah.
and you play? What do you reckon, kids? Pretty cool, hey? Not every day you get to see inside an old piano like this.
We call it the old girl.
All right, that's the old girl. What else have we got here, Craig? What ages of the kids do you usually teach here at Menai?
Yeah, so we start from 4 and 5 years of age.
Okay.
Some kids, we do what we call a musical assessment on the kids. So make sure that they can at least hold attention for 15, 20, half an hour. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
And then find out what they love and then find out what they're good at. We generally like to do drums, singing and piano at a younger age.
Yeah.
Guitar's a little bit more cumbersome because you've got to create the note.
Yeah.
Because when I played the piano before, you press the note down, it makes sound.
Right.
When guitar, you've got to hold it there, you've got to create the note.
it's a bit more difficult.
Yeah, so about 7 and 8 for guitarists.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah, very good. I've got a really cool setup here just to show you some of the guitars. Now this is the oldest guitar I've got. It's an acoustic guitar. It's an Australian-made guitar called Menin, and they're beautiful. This guitar would be 24, 25 years old now. And I call it Fred. I've named it after my grandfather who passed away many years ago. So every time I play it, I think of him. And yeah, it's been around forever and it's retired from gigging now.
Okay.
So it's been dropped on a few stages, doing a few rock moves.
Right.
But it just...
You played it over the back,
Yeah,
did
that's
you? And
right.
just got down on the knees.
I actually jumped and hit the roof. And so that's the acoustic guitar that I use as a studio guitar. So I
Okay.
record with this, but I don't take it on the road anymore.
So Fred's for the studio only.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And I'll just give you a little strum to see how it sounds. It's really beautiful. Ozzie is a friend of mine and a friend of yours the other way around, isn't it? Ozzie's a friend of yours and a friend of mine. That's it.
But hey, you can
I'm
change the
gonna
lyrics.
learn. I'm going to learn.
You're a musician, you can do it in your right.
That's right.
It's your cover.
That's it. All right, cool. And now we've got the the electric guitars.
Okay, so that one is an acoustic,
That's right.
electric acoustic.
Electric acoustic, because you can plug it in, but yeah, it's got a pickup. That's a pickup there.
Okay, and that's where you put the
You
cable.
put the cable in,
Yep.
and you plug it into a speaker, and you control it up here.
Okay.
So basically, you can control the volume, and just like an EQ on a stereo, you can add more bass or treble,
Okay.
just to different sounding rooms. That's something to speak about, I guess. Is whenever you're playing live music, every situation's different. So the sound of the room affects the sound of how you play. So you get very good over years and years of identifying what frequencies to take out.
Okay.
And frequency is just a technical term for either high notes or high frequencies like treble sounding, piercing, or low bassy notes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to find that balance.
Find that balance all the time, yeah.
Right. So this is an electric guitar.
Yeah, as you can hear when I plugged it in. Okay, it's very shimmery, very metallic sounding. It's got steel strings, and I'll explain it's very similar to a human when you look at a guitar.
Wow.
Because this is the head,
Okay.
this is the neck,
All right.
this is the body.
It was a long neck, but
Yeah,
considering you
that's
come from a
right.
head, neck, body.
Head, neck, body.
Yeah.
And on an electric guitar, we've got things called pickups. So this is when the string vibrates. It gets picked up by the magnet here and then gets translated into an electronic signal and then pushed through into
Okay. So these white things behind the strings,
the pickups.
they're called pickups.
Yeah, that's right.
Cool.
And these are just control knobs. So if
All right. So that's a volume. You turn it up and down.
and this is just a tone. Once again, very similar to an EQ. You can
Yeah. Wow.
hear it changes a lot, doesn't it?
Very cool.
And
Now
then,
what is this thing?
that's the pickup selector.
Okay.
So that one goes to that pickup. So it just points where it is. So
Okay.
that's what we call the neck pickup. Then we've got the center pickup, and then what we call the bridge pickup.
Okay.
So this is called the bridge.
Right.
And I just explain to the kids when they're thinking about, like, imagine it's very metally. There's a lot of metal. It's big. It's very clear on the guitar. I just call that the harbour bridge, so they remember.
Sydney
So that's
Harbour Bridge.
Sydney Harbour Bridge.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
So that's the back pickup, the bridge pickup, and this one's just splitting them, so it's giving you both.
Okay.
So if I show you what this, I mean, if I play something bluesy, that's a good pickup to have because it's very woolly and very woody sounding.
Okay.
Whereas I do like more of a strummy sort of song. That's kind of good for pop and sort of rock music. And then this one is that's what we call the country pickup.
Oh,
That's the back
country
pickup.
pickup.
Yeah, the chicken picking. Yeah.
Now, Craig, where do you spend most of your time, mate? Are you a country boy or a bit of a bluesy boy? Or are you a bit all over the
well,
place?
mix it up. Yeah. So I write music and I've got my music on Spotify and all the rest. But more when I write music, sort of country rock pop. That's sort of my vibe. But
Okay.
when I do gigs, I've sometimes got to play a blues song, or I've got to play a country song, or I've got to play even a pop song. You might have to do something by Bruno Mars, which is not very guitar driven, but it requires all your. And that's funk. So that's a totally different sound. But that's what the Strat's good for, because
Love
it's very versatile.
Very versatile.
Yeah, and I thought I'd show you one more guitar.
Please.
So basically, this
Good
one
as you
here,
kids. I'd love to be able to play the guitar like that. How many years have you been playing for?
I've been performing and playing for 27 years this year.
Wow.
So,
You
yeah.
don't look 27 years old, Craig.
Mate, I'm going to go with that once. Can you ring my wife and tell her that?
So how old were you when you started?
I was 15 when I started gigging. So,
Okay, wow.
Yeah. So long time. I probably started I call a professional musician the day you get paid for your first gig, and my first paid gig was 15.
Wow.
So but I was playing drums and singing BVs. I wasn't playing guitar or singing as a front man.
BVs you mentioned there. That's
BVs, yeah, backing
vocals.
Yeah,
Okay.
backing
Like it.
vocals.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got lead singers, so the singer up the front. So you think of Pink or Taylor Swift, Ariana Grande. Well, she's up the front,
Mhm.
and then you've got people that backing vocalists. So you'll have microphones for all the other musicians, and they'll do things what we call harmony. So a single note and then another note on top or below to make that note sound amazing.
Sure. Love it.
Yeah, and this is just another example of an electric guitar. These are both Fenders, which Leo Fender is one of the most famous creators of electric guitars in the world. If you talk about Fender, most people who don't even know music know Fender. They know Fender guitars.
Yeah.
And the other one would be For drums, everyone knows pearl drums and Tama.
Yeah, okay.
They're made famous by, Tama's made famous by Metallica.
Love a bit of Metallica.
Metallica.
Kids, you love Metallica?
Yeah, hopefully. Check it out, kids.
Absolutely.
And this is a country guitar, so it's exactly the same as my other electric guitar. It's got a head, a neck, and one thing I didn't mention, these metal bits here, they're called the frets.
Frets.
Yeah, the frets, F-R-E-T.
Okay.
The good thing about a fret, or to want to know, this is the first lesson I give a kid when they're learning guitar, is when you put your finger down on a guitar, if you want to play a note like this note here. Oh, sounds a bit faint.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Oh, sorry, I should know better than that.
Yeah.
Well, the way to fix that is you put your finger behind the fret.
Right.
The note becomes clear. So the first thing you need to know on guitars, if you put your finger down on a guitar, go to the fret you need to be on and be just behind it.
And that's what makes those notes nice and clear.
Clear. Otherwise you get the fuzzy. Doesn't sound good. You can hear it sounds country, yeah? So we've got this other electric guitar, which I spoke a bit before about country. This is a very famous guitar called a Fender Telecaster. And this is a cherry red Fender Telecaster. And shout out to my wife who bought it for me one birthday. So it's a very
Is that your favourite colour?
I love this guitar. I wanted to do a film clip with a cherry red Telecaster, and I did. So.
Nice.
But it's a very beautiful sounding instrument. It's very country sounding, but the other twang.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's good.
Beautiful. Looks nice, sounds nice, I love it.
Awesome. Thanks, Ozzie.
We've seen some of the bigger guitars, but when we were downstairs before, there was a picture of that small guitar. What's that called again?
Yeah, that's a ukulele.
You got one of those?
I do actually. It's called. There's one right here, but it's sometimes referred to as a uke.
A uke. Short for ukulele.
Exactly.
Cool.
And this is an interesting guitar. It's a ukulele. It is a ukulele guitar, but the correct name is called a ukulele. But basically, this was originated in the beautiful island called Hawaii, so the American state.
Yeah,
so
okay.
that's why, as you said, mahalo. If I show you this one, so basically, it sounds a little bit different to the electric guitar. Here, the tuning's different.
Okay.
This one's a bit different. So if I put my finger down here, that's actually a C chord.
Okay.
So
Wow.
I'll teach you how to play C chord. So hold the uke and put your finger
It's about my size,
down on
okay.
that one. That's all right, yeah. And you just strum all those strings. That's a C.
I'm playing the uke, kids. That's how easy it is.
That's how we
Wow, it's probably a little bit more difficult,
No,
so I hand it back to the professional.
That's all right.
That's how it's done.
But that's a good instrument for kids to start. It's a good instrument to start because it's simple for their little hands to get a hold of.
Yeah.
And as I said earlier, we don't really start the kids on guitar until they're about 7 or 8, sometimes even 9 if they're a small size, because you've got to manufacture the note on a guitar or a uke.
Okay.
But a uke's different because it's so small, tiny on me, but it's really easy to hold some simple chords.
Yeah, cool. All right, so Craig, we've learned these other guitars, and I've noticed that the uke has different material on those strings.
It does, yeah. So the actual strings on the ukulele, they're not steel, they're like a nylon.
Okay.
That's what they are, nylon strings.
Right.
So basically, and you can see they're slightly different sizes if you get close there.
Yeah.
This is a thinner one. And that's funny, on the electric guitar, it's thicker to thinner.
Yeah.
On the uke, it's thinner to thicker.
Okay.
So it's reversed.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're nylon strings. They're just a softer sounding string.
Right.
If you can hear that. Sounds very peaceful. And this originated on classical guitars. So if you get I've got a classical guitar.
Okay.
A little bit different, the classical guitar. That's it, that's the C chord.
That's the C. Take me to the C.
Yeah. So I play C chord on here, you play one there. There you go. It's good,
Cool.
yeah. So this is a classical guitar, a wider fretboard. So where the frets are, it's wider. And people play it like that, they sit like that.
Ah, okay. Beautiful.
or play with fingers.
Well, I was going to say, one thing I've noticed there is that the electric guitars, you were doing a lot more strumming.
Strumming, yeah.
And this one you were doing
Finger picking.
plucking
Yeah.
the string.
Finger picking, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Love it.
All right.
All right, Craig, so we've learnt lots about different guitars. These things behind me, these drum kits, look very, very cool. I must mention though, I've noticed that they don't look like the ones that you see in rock bands. What's the difference between these and those ones with the big drums?
That's right, Ozzie. Yeah, so basically we have acoustic drum kits, which are wooden, and they've got metal brackets and skins on them. And when you hit them, they're very loud.
Right.
So a snare drum, the rat-a-tat-tat-tat sounding one, that would be ringing in your ears if you hit it hard.
Yeah.
Whereas these ones are electronic drum kits, and these are great because basically we can hit the electronic drum kit, put headphones on, still get the same thing happening, but we don't annoy our neighbours.
That's a good thing. So if there's kids at home that want to learn the drums, you encourage an electronic drum kit.
Ideal, yes.
And it's not going to annoy the neighbours or the mum and dad.
No, and they sound so good. You're going to hear them in a second. They
cool.
sound so good. I'll just turn this one on. They sound so much better nowadays because of technology and the way they sample. So basically, technically speaking, they'll be in a real studio with a real drum kit, with it all microphones on the drum kit, and they'll have a professional drummer, sit there and play the snare drum at different velocities, different loudness,
Okay.
and different speeds, and they'll just, not speeds, but mainly the velocity, and they'll capture that, and that's what they call a sample. They put it into the computer, and when you play the drum, you're actually getting the sound of a real drum.
Incredible.
That's the
It's
technology.
amazing what they can do these days.
It's awesome.
Yeah, that's really, really cool.
So
So,
jump on, mate. Yeah, I want
to.
to give you the most famous drum beat of all time, which
All right.
is very important. So basically, I'll explain you.
Sorry.
That's all
I
right.
thought I was in a rock band straight away.
It's good to be keen. It's good to be keen.
Gotta stay keen.
Gotta stay
Good
keen.
job. I like it, Craig.
So what we need to do is we need to identify what's on the drum kit. So the first thing you need to know is your foot, your right foot.
Yep.
Press that down. That's the bass drum. Hear that?
Okay, bass.
Yeah, that's the bass drum. Now on your left-hand side, you've got this one here. So this one here, if you look at this one here to your left, this is called the hi-hat.
Hi-hat.
The hi-hat. And it also has a controller on your left foot. You've done it right. You've put your foot down. If you take your foot off, you get a trashy hi-hat.
Yeah, right. Cool.
Sounds like two trash cans hanging together. So that's a tight hi-hat, and that's a trashy hi-hat.
Okay.
Yep, and we've got a bass drum. Now we'll go around the other drums. We've got a snare drum. Keep that one here. We've got a tom, tom 1. Tom 2. Tom 3, or the floor tom.
Three times.
And then we have a crash cymbal. And then a ride.
A ride.
Ride. R-I-D-E.
Take me for a ride.
Yeah, that's what I call the jazz cymbal. It's got that. Yeah, and then I've got an extra cymbal over here. That's what they call a china. Yeah, you want that. So let's try it. Okay, so let's try the most famous rock beat of all time, I think. And it's
Is that from Metallica?
No, it's by a band called Queen. You know Queen?
I love Queen.
So it's easy. We're going to do what we call a flam. So do this with your sticks and hit both on the snare. Perfect. Now do this with the bass drum and go. Good. Now let's repeat that and loop it around, and we've got We Will Rock You. Ready? Go. We will rock you. We will rock you. We will rock you. We will rock you. Yes. And you get the cymbal, that's right. And what I always say to the kids at the end of the lesson, because it's very focused when we're doing it for 25 minutes, for the last 5 minutes or 3 minutes, I say, you know what, go for it. So you just got to go for it. Make some noise. He's a natural. What a natural. Ozzie. right.
Hey, lessons go for about 25 minutes, half an hour, is that right?
Half an hour, yeah. So they're half an hour one-on-one lessons. So it's just the teacher and the student.
Yeah.
And then we've got group lessons, which you do no more than 2 students at a time. But a cool thing to mention is we've actually been getting quite a few parents with their kids coming. So dads always want to learn guitar, and so is their little boy or girl, and then they go, oh, do you want to do lessons together? Yeah. So
that's cool.
So the dad can come in with their little boy or girl and sit in the lesson, and they can both learn at the same pace, help each other at home, which is what music is about. You know, it's about sharing and the community. You know,
yeah, that'd be a really good experience, wouldn't it?
Yeah, yes.
And they would learn from the same book and the same lesson
plan. Yep. So especially if they've both haven't had any experience, we've got a couple, a father and a daughter combination who learn piano, and they both sit on a piano each, and they both play, and they're learning at the same pace because dad's never done it, so it's a very foreign language to dad. And kids, they pick up everything very quickly, so they both sort of progress.
Really cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Awesome.
I don't think we've spoken
well,
about
I was about to say, speaking of piano.
We'll have a quick jump on the piano. Now, this piano here is a full-length piano, very similar to the one I showed you outside of the old girl, from the 1900s, the real piano. 88 keys. So there's 88 keys.
88 keys.
If you look at there's black and white keys.
There is black and white keys.
That's where the mouse is. Where's the mouse? So basically a piano, an electric piano, is exactly what I said to you about the idea behind the drumming. They've recorded a real piano in a studio, like a gorgeous Yamaha or a beautiful German piano in a gorgeous studio, beautifully recorded, played all different velocities.
So the velocities are hard to hit it.
Velocity is how hard you hit it, and that's what gives you dynamics. Because if I'm playing nice and relaxed, then I want to get more rock and roll. Just take this old record on the shelf. That's all I know about that song.
I like it, man. You impressed me. That's all you need to do.
That's all you need to know. Yeah, keep playing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I'll see you next week.
Yeah. All right, so that's the piano or the keys.
Yeah, that's the piano and the keyboard, yeah.
Keyboard, sorry.
Yeah, keyboard.
So that's the keyboard, not the piano.
It is an electric piano. So
okay,
correct,
cool.
Yeah. So it is an electric piano or keyboard. So yeah, the only thing outside of that would be what we call a synth, and that's a whole bag of tricks. That's a new bag of tricks. That's a synthesizer where they've manipulated sounds electronically, and in dance music and a lot of pop music, we hear those really crazy sounds. That's all created on a synthesizer.
Right, okay.
We don't have a synthesizer here, but it's the technology we can use in the computer to change this into a synth is there. So
yeah, cool.
You've got still the tool. If a kid goes, I want to do that dance sound, you know. So.
Yeah, cool. You've shown us the keyboard now. I have seen some other guitars that have less strings than an electric guitar, and they have like a deeper sound. What's that one called?
I think you're talking about a bass because they're a bit bigger than that one.
A bit bigger as well.
Yeah, bigger and longer.
Yeah, right.
Just happen to have one right here.
Perfect.
And just turn it on. Yep, sounds like it's on. Beautiful.
All right. So this is a bass guitar.
This is a bass guitar.
All right.
So yeah, you're right. It looks like an electric guitar. It's got a head, a neck, a body, the pickups, the bridge, the frets, but it's got that low sound. The bass is one of the best instruments, kids, believe it or not.
Yeah.
It's one of the best instruments.
Well, I'd imagine that that's a big part of a band.
That's what I was going to say, 100%. Without the bass guitar, so we were talking about the instruments of a rock band. So you have the drum kit, you have the bass guitar, those two lock in.
Okay.
They've got to play together.
They really complement each other and work together.
Yep. And then you've got the guitarist, which is playing rhythm, which is working with those two, but playing over the top.
Okay.
Then you've got a keyboard, same kind of thing, a rhythmical instrument, bass and treble.
Yeah.
But then you've got the singer out the front the singer gets a lot of the attention, a lot of the praise, but without all those instruments playing, supporting that singer, there wouldn't be a band.
That's right, yeah.
It's very important, singers, to have respect for your musicians.
Yeah.
So without them, you wouldn't sound anywhere near as good as you do.
Yeah. So, and you teach singing here, and we had a look at the microphone before.
Yep.
So if I was to if any of the kids would want to learn how to sing,
Yep, 100%. So
Where do we start?
Yeah, so if you come forward here, so definitely we do singing lessons, and it's one of my favourite things to teach because I kind of feel like everyone can sing and everyone can be taught to sing to a certain extent.
Okay.
There are better voices and there are worse voices, but if you can talk, then you can pitch to a note, then I can show you how to move through a progression of music.
All right.
So let's do a quick vocal warm-up.
I'm nervous.
This one's
but that's okay.
This one's quite fun, and don't be scared if you laugh because it's very funny when we
Beginning
start.
warm up for all voices.
So you need to put your fingers in your cheeks, Ozzie, and
lip
face this
trill,
way so we don't
smile.
spit on each other.
Okay.
You ready? You're going to do your bubble. Ready? Watch
Okay.
this. 2, 3, 4. You're doing great, Ozzie. Keep going. Go again. Good, and again. That's
Hang on,
awesome.
Craig.
No,
Is
that's
that-
seriously a warm-up.
That's singing, is it?
Yes, listen to your
No,
voice.
that's a warm-up,
That's
right?
a warm-up.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just a warm-up. It's called a bubble exercise.
Right.
And it basically gets your vocal cords into a position where you start singing.
Okay.
We don't do 5 hours of that. That
Oh,
goes
right.
for like a minute.
Yeah.
And then we move on to something. We'll
That's
do
our
one.
warm-ups.
We'll do one at the end, which is kind of cool as well. This one is E-A-I-O. So the vowel sounds. Ready? E-A. Just
Wowzers. You want me to do that?
E-A-I-O. You're doing it, bro. Keep going. Ready? Go. E-A-I-O. And again, go again. E-A-I-O. A couple more times. Perfect. E-A-I-O. Last time, nice and loud. E-A-I-O. Well done, Ozzie.
Yeah!
Well done.
Starting to sing here, kids.
There we go, yeah.
All right,
So we do
awesome.
our warm-ups and then we get straight into it and we utilise obviously technology, YouTube, backing tracks, but more importantly, recording.
Right.
When we record a singer, we can physically show them back straight away, this is how you sound, and
That's
the kids
cool.
go, oh, sometimes they're just, no, I hate my
Yeah.
voice. But I said, no, it's not about that. It's about just being aware that's how you sound now and where we're going to take you.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Mm.
Because you can't be professional straight away, right?
100%.
You got to
I'm
learn.
still
That's
learning.
why you
and
come here to Mount Music.
yeah. Every day I learn. Every time I step foot in this door and every day I do a gig, I learn something new.
Yeah.
It never stops.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Yeah. So, Craig, you've shown us lots of different instruments, all the instruments that would make up a rock band,
Yeah.
including singing. But what does the singer actually sing, and what do the musicians in the band play?
Yeah, awesome.
Who writes the music?
Well, that's a good question. That's called a songwriter.
Okay.
So basically, a songwriter will get into a room with another songwriter or collaboration with one or two songwriters.
Okay.
Sometimes it's just like me, sitting in a room with my guitar, writing a song on my computer, putting the chords down, coming up with the story, putting the lyrics in a spreadsheet, and then that's how a song starts.
Okay.
Then I bring it to the band, say this is all the parts, this is how the song's written, the chord structure and the arrangement, they call it, and then basically we have a song. So it's probably important to know that with songs, there's no right or wrong way of writing a song. From straight away, I could sit down with you today, we could come up with a song by just,
That's exciting.
yeah, well, Ozzie, you could say like, Craig, I really want to rehash the Aussie theme song, or I want to have a rock version of the Aussie song, because your one's nice and cruisy, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, so we could say, no, what are the chords in the original one? And then I could take the electric guitar, put some bass down, some drums, and all of a sudden we start to make a creation.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah, that's, to me, is the ultimate in music. When you're
Yeah.
creating music and you're writing songs, you are leaving something behind, and that's your legacy that you can, when you leave this world, you can go back and people can look at your music and go, wow, what an amazing singer or songwriter that person was. So,
Yeah, that's really
yeah,
cool.
it's really important. That's what we try and instill in the kids that want to take it to that next level.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, I love the sound of writing a rock version of the Aussie song, but
Yeah.
maybe that's for another day. Maybe
Another
you can
day.
come back, kids, and
100%.
visit
I'd
Craig
love to have you
and
guys.
have a jam and rock out to
Yeah.
a rock version of Aussie song.
Yeah, we'll get you to play the drums on. I reckon that'd be really cool.
Yeah, great.
You've got the ability, I can tell already. So.
Awesome. Thank you, mate. I'll take that as a compliment. Look, in the meantime, can I have a bash on some of these instruments?
Yeah, let's
Show me
set you
that.
up. So you've done the drums?
Yep.
Let's get you on the guitar and turn it up.
Am I a rock star?
You're a rock star, In the making, definitely. We'll
like
get the
it.
hat on back, that's the start.
Yes.
So you put them all down together. Oh, that's a C chord.
C chord.
C, can you see? That's a C.
I can see.
It's wonderful.
I can
to
play a
see.
C on the uke. I can play a C on the keyboard.
There you go. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up to the 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then open. Look at that. He's playing bass like an 80s rocker. Woo!
Whoops.
And you can hold on to go. How cool is that sound? The first strumming pattern that I always teach the kids is down, 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 up, down. Down, 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 up, down. Beautiful. Down, down, up, down. Ozzie, Ozzie, Ozzie. Boy, there you go. So what Ozzie's got is really good rhythm in his right hand, and he's holding the chord cleanly. That's perfect. And we'll get trickier. Drop those two down. This goes to C now. Nice and peaceful, isn't it? Nice and relaxing. And then I'll throw him in the deep end, a D chord. One there, and one there. Hold that and play the bottom 4 strings now. Ozzie is a friend of yours and a friend of mine. Back to you, G. He certainly is.
Craig, I've had so much fun learning all these
That's
different
right.
instruments. I have a lot of work to do, I know.
No, that's all
But
right.
you've got to start somewhere, don't you?
Have
And
to.
I guess that's what you say to the kids when they come in.
That's what we're here for, yeah. It's a very friendly environment. There's no pressure. Kids who want to take it fully serious, we push them as hard as they want to go.
Yeah,
But the kids who just want to just come in for a laugh and have a good time and learn a skill. It's a lifelong skill. As I said, I'm in my 40s now, and I feel like I'm only hitting my straps now. So
Yeah, great.
not like sport. Like my knee's gone. You get to a certain age where you got to pull back a bit, but with music, you can do it to you very old. So,
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, kids, why don't you come along to a place like Menai Music, choose an instrument that you would like to learn. Craig's a fantastic teacher, as you can see, and who knows, one day you might have 100,000 listens on Spotify like Craig does. Kids,
Or even 1 million, because the kids will be, that'll be the new thing. You've got to have 1 million.
1 million.
100,000 is nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to start somewhere though, right?
Exactly.
And Menai Music is a great place to start, kids. So hope you've learned lots today, and I hope it's inspired you to get out and pick up an instrument. We'll see you on the next video. Until then, stay keen. I'm going to keep practicing.
See ya. Beautiful.
If you haven't already, make sure you get a grown up to help you hit that subscribe button. That way you won't miss out on any of the new and exciting videos that we put out. Speaking of new and exciting, if there's a video that you'd love to see Ozzie do, make sure you send us a message on our socials, on Facebook or Instagram at Aussie for Kids. We'll see you again soon, kids. And until then, stay keen. Oh, and by the way, did you happen to find the hidden Aussie icon in that video? Yeah, make sure you look closely because they're in every single video. That's right. Stay keen, kids.
Aussie, 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 oi! Aussie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of